Hello, everyone here at Monona Terrace and everybody online. We are going to do a little bit with our shoulders, necks, and hips today, in addition to some yoga core and Pilates. Listen to your body, right? If something's not working for you, feel free to modify as needed. If it feels nice to put your hands on a wall when we're standing up, that's always a good option. So let's start. We'll start sitting up today, just for a minute, and then we'll lay down. So just sit however is comfortable. Maybe that's with your legs straight. Maybe it's one leg straight, one bent, or crisscross. And start to notice the parts of your body that are in connection with the floor. Just notice this nice, stable, safe place. And then notice the parts of your body that are away from the floor. Maybe you notice a little breeze or the temperature of the air, the feeling of the clothes on your body, or anything else. And if it feels good, you can shut your eyes or just gaze softly. And do a little check-in today from the top of your head to the bottoms of your feet. Just noticing any sensations, noticing whatever you notice. Good, and then bring your attention to your breath. Notice the depth, the rhythm of your breath, and where you feel your breath in your body. Maybe a little more in your upper chest, maybe a little down toward your belly, or anywhere else. And on your next exhale, gently let your chin drop down toward your chest. Just noticing the back of your neck. And inhale back to neutral. And do that a few times at your own pace, allowing your body to be patient with your breath. And then the next time your head comes up, move gently side to side and really taking time to notice whatever it is that you feel as you turn your head side to side. Maybe one side's a little stiff from sleeping. Maybe there's a side that's always a little stiff. Just acknowledge that, notice. And then gently let your chin slide down back and forth across your chest. And if that means bringing a little roundness to your back, go ahead and do that. That can feel good. Good. And then we'll come back to center. Take both shoulders, draw them up towards your ears, and let them drop down. Do that 3 or 4 more times. Just feel the weight of those shoulders drop and down. Good. And then circle them forward. And maybe you notice some places that are a little hard to work through. Maybe you notice a little noise. That's normal. A little snap, crackle, pop. Good. Circle one shoulder and then the other. And you can let this work all the way down your side body. Good. Keep that alternate shoulder thing going, but go backwards. A little backstroke today. Good. And then circle both shoulders together back. We'll go 3 times. And then inhale both arms up without lifting your shoulder blades. Nice. And then go ahead, reach up and lift your shoulder blades. And then draw your arms to cactus. And then let them float up again. Drop your right hand down to the side, left hand to the sky, and we'll reach over both sides of the body. Stay as long as we can. And we'll come all the way up. Place your left hand down, take your right hand around. Give yourself a little twist. And we'll come back to center. Take left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky, keeping both sides of the body long. We'll do that little bend. Good. And come all the way up, right hand down, left hand comes across for the twist. And come on back to center. Let's do 3 more circles before we lay down on the mat. All right, and then bring yourself back to a comfortable position, feet on the floor. Do our little Pilates warm up here. Find that nice neutral spine where you have some space underneath your low back and some space underneath your neck. And we're going to try to keep our legs quiet and not moving. Drop your low back towards the mat. So pubic bone lifts, hips rock back, and release that. And do it a few times. So we're drawing the spine back toward the floor, just very gently, and then releasing back to neutral spine. And do that 2 more times. Good. And then find your neutral spine. Put a hand on each side hip bone, on the top of your hip bone, without letting the knees sway. Lift your right hip bone and then your left hip bone. So the pelvis is just rocking side to side without help from the legs if we can. Good. And then let's get a little complicated. Lift your right hip bone, your pubic bone, your left hip bone, and your belly button. So now the pelvis is just swirling around. If it was a bowl of water, we'd be swishing the water all the way around that bowl of water. And then stop. Pick up your left hip bone, your pubic bone, your right hip bone, and your belly button. And circle your pelvis the other way. Hopefully this feels kind of nice for low back. Good. And then bring both knees up toward your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Rock yourself a little side to side. And bring your knees together. We're going to split the knees, push the feet away, put the knees together, and come back up. It's really just a circle with the femurs and the hip sockets, and it isn't cheating to hold your legs. It's not cheating. It just helps them move around in a nice smooth circle. And then switch, and we'll go the other way, pushing the feet away, keeping the knees together, split the knees and the feet, circle them up around. Nice. Good. Go ahead and bring your feet back to the mat. Come up to your arms, reach your arms up overhead. They don't have to go to the floor, but they can if that feels good. Exhale, palms down. Do that 3 more times. Let's inhale up, filling up with air. Exhale down, squeezing the air out. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale, squeeze the air out. And inhale up. Exhale, squeeze the air out. Good. Bring your fingertips back toward the ceiling. Reach your right arm up and then your left arm so that your torso gently rocks side to side. Good. Maybe 1 more each way. And bring the hands back down. Bring your shins up so that they're parallel to the ceiling. Option 1. Option 2 is with straight legs when you're ready. Option 3 is to let those legs drop down. We're going to bring our upper body up for a Pilates 100 and start to pump your arms. So it's just a little up and down. And we'll add some breath. We'll inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. If your neck gets tired, go ahead and put your head down. Exhale. 2 more sets. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Good. Drop your head back, turn it side to side. Bring your knees together. We're going to make a figure 8 on the ceiling, a sideways figure 8. I think we did this last week. Keeping the knees, keeping the ankles glued together, letting one hip bone lift and then the other, kind of hitching those hips up as we move. Notice the direction you're going and see if you can reverse it. Good. And then let's bring upper body up. Grab your right leg with your right hand on the ankle, left hand on the knee. Option to keep your head up or put your head down, and we'll just switch those legs. And maybe add an exhale every time a leg is long. We'll go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop your head back down. Bring your feet to the mat. Take your feet out wide and let your knees drop together. Go slow and just notice how that feels. Take a couple breaths here. And then slowly start to let your knees sway side to side. Working into a little hip mobility here. Just let your legs be heavy. Notice your feet rolling across the mat. And then come on back to center. Take your left leg long, right knee up. Grab that right knee like it's a big crayon. And we're going to just circle it around like we're drawing a circle on the ceiling with our big crayon. Just feel the weight of the femur in your hip socket. And then switch and go the other way. Good. Same side leg. If it's available, go ahead and straighten that leg. You're welcome to bend your bottom leg if that's needed. We're going to take that right leg out to the side and circle it around. And the circles don't have to be big. I'm just going to make mine big so it's easy to see. But they can be whatever size feels good to your hip. And let's switch and go the other way. So they go across the body unless the knee's bent. And then they really don't cross much. It's more of a D shape, and that's fine. One more. Good. Fire up your core muscles. Let that knee bend. Put your right hand on the knee. Press down with your hand and up with your knee. And just hold here. Hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. And we'll switch and go to the other knee. So now right leg is long, left knee is bent. Hand on the knee like a big crayon. Draw some circles. And switch and go the other way. Good. And then if it feels good, take that leg straight. Feel free to bend that bottom leg if it's needed. We'll take the leg out to the side and circle around. We're trying to hold everything else nice and stable. One more. And switch and go the other way. Across the body and up. 2 more. Good. Let that knee bend. Put your left hand on the knee. Push up with your knee. Down with your hand. 3, 2, 1. And release that. Bring both knees in. Give them a good squeeze. Maybe rock a little side to side. And we'll come up for one more. So we're going to come up into a scissor, which is 2 little pulses with the leg. and then we switch. Head can be down or up, whatever feels good. And if you like, you can add 2 little puffs of exhale when that knee or when that foot pulses. Sounds like this. Good, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Draw your knees in, turn your head side to side, let it go. And then make your way to sitting. And come all the way up. Let's work hips for just a second. So take your feet in front of you, and then just like when we were lying down, we're just going to let the knees sway. Only go as far as feels good. Good. If you want to, you can also release the arms. And maybe they go all the way over, maybe they stay right here in the middle. Good. Come on back to center. Some nice adaptations with the arms. Bring your feet together, but take them kind of far away from your body. We're going to play with this a little bit. Sit up really nice and tall. And then tip your pelvis forward. So we're not letting the back round, we're just leaning a little forward, maybe adding just the tiniest bit of pressure with the arms, teeny tiny bit. Let your back round now. And if you like, bring your feet in a little bit or a lot. As long as you can keep those legs nice and heavy, we'll come back up, nice and tall. Lean the pelvis forward. Just enough. And one more time, let your back round. Good. And we'll come back up. Let's take legs wide. Arms to the side, sit up as tall as you can. Take your right arm over towards your left little toe. And these are gentle, right? It's not a big stretch. This is working a little side to side. Make sure that you hit that center position every time you come up. There's 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on up. Stack your arms one on top of the other. We do tiny twists to the side. So go to the left for 3 little pulses, really gentle pulses, and back to center, setting up again for the other side. Exhale, 3, inhale, exhale, 2, 3, inhale, exhale, 2. Change your arms. Now we'll keep going just a little bit. Exhale, 2, 3, inhale. 1 more each side. Good. And shake it out. All right. Go ahead and cross your legs again, or however is comfortable. Let's just shake out the shoulders a little bit after that. However feels good. And then we'll come over to all fours. If you need to pad your knees, just take your mat and fold it and put your knees on your mat on that folded piece. Come into all fours. We're going to find a neutral spine first. That looks good. And breathe. Take 3 breaths. See if you can fill your rib cage front, side, and back. Good. Let's move into our invisible cat. So on your next exhale, turn on those muscles it would take to push up into a nice Halloween cat, but don't go there. Just turn on the muscles. Nobody can even see this cat. It's a secret cat. Sink through to the tiniest cow. Just turn on those muscles that it would take to move into cow. And then this time make them a little bit bigger. Rounding up to cat. Inhaling through to cow. And then a little bigger maybe. And then if you like, you could let your elbows bend so you're really exaggerating your cat and cow. Or you could add a little organic movement, noticing those places that maybe need a little extra stretch. All right, take your right leg back behind you, toes to the mat. We're really going to fire up our core muscles here for a minute. See if you can float your left knee up off the mat. And if that means a little up and down, that's totally fine. So there's option 1. Option 2 is to take it up and just hold. Option 3 is to kick back into a 3-point down dog and come back to the hold. Just do a few of those, however it suits you today. Good. And this last time, go ahead and drop that knee down and keep it. Take your right leg, step it over. Have a look back. If you need to release your wrists, come on down on your elbows. You can look back at your foot if that's available. And then we'll walk back up, kick that leg out to the side. Leave your left hand on the floor and twist toward that right leg, that straight leg, that leg that's out to the side. Nice. And release that. We'll take the left leg back, fire those core muscles up, lift the right knee up. And again, that could be just a little up and down. It could be an up and hold, or it could be a kick back to 3-point down dog. Your choice. Good. And then after this last one, go ahead and leave the knee down. Step your left leg across. Feel free to come down to your elbows if that feels nice. And then we'll come back up, kick that leg all the way over to the other side and twist toward it. Good. Come on down and set up a downward dog, a nice, soft, easy, as relaxed as you can down dog. Let your legs walk a little bit. And then walk your hands to your feet. We're going to go Pilates style here. Let your knees bend. Bring your hands to your thighs. Roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. And then roll your shoulders back. Good. Shake out the wrists. So let's all turn toward the building and take your left foot forward. Yeah. And we're just going to sink it down. So we're in a warrior position. The back foot is out at an angle. Front knee is pretty bent. Back knee is a little bit bent. Turn your shoulders toward the building. Reach your arms to the sky. Good. All we're going to do with this one today is just tip forward. Fire up your core muscles, and it doesn't have to be a big tip. We're just leaning toward the building. Good. Inhale back up, open to warrior 2. We're going to do that a few times. So that arm is going to come right back over. Lean it forward. Strong core, strong legs. Come on up, open to warrior 2. Nice. Let's do one more like that. Leaning forward. Open to warrior 2. Good. Let your front leg straight and reach straight up in the air. Sink it back down to warrior 2. Take your left hand to the sky, peaceful warrior. Yep. Good. Come on back to warrior two. Turn your toes toward me. Just forward fold over. We're gonna play with our hips a little bit here. Option one is elbows to knees as we rock across. Option two is to walk across on the floor. You can go as low as your particular hips and knees allow. Good. Oh, the sun's coming out. Look at that. Come on back to center. Hands to thighs, and we'll come all the way up. And turn toward the lake. And the sunshine. Right leg forward. Arms to the sky. Good. Sink it down a little bit if it's available. And then reach yourself forward. Strong core, strong legs. And we'll inhale back, warrior two. Good, bring that arm right back over. We'll lean forward. And open again. Good, one more just like that. And we open. Straighten that front leg and reach up. Drop it down, take your right hand to the sky. Peaceful warrior. Nice. Go ahead and frame that foot. This time, walk your fingertips in toward me, along that long edge of the mat. Bring your heels in, toes stay out, hands to thighs, and we'll come on up. So here we are in this squat, and it doesn't have to be a big one. It can be right up here. It can be down low. You decide. We'll reach up both hands as if you're pulling a rope from the ceiling. Squeeze down. Nice. Let's do two more. And squeeze it down. And one more. Hold here. Check in with your knees. Make sure they're going out the same direction as your toes. It's really easy to let them drop in. We want them out. Come to your right toes and your left toes, if that feels good. Otherwise, maybe just hold that squat. And if you like, maybe come to toes on both sides. Good, one more breath. Sink it down, splash up, that's gonna feel nice. Toes forward, forward fold. And we'll come all the way up. Let's turn toward the building one more time. Find yourself a nice warrior two. Drop your shoulder blades down your back, left arms forward, right arms back. Yep. Take your left hand to the sky. Left elbow to knee. Bring that right arm right up and over. Like you're just sliding it across the ceiling. And then the same. Peaceful warrior. Nice. To side angle. And one more. Good. This time come to warrior two. Lean yourself a little forward. Let that front leg straighten. And get one triangle on the side. Come on back to warrior two. And we just pivot to the other side this time. Good. Setting up warrior two on the side. Let your shoulder blades slide down your back. Right hand to the sky. Right elbow to the knee. Left hand skims the ceiling. And open. And skim the ceiling. Good. One more. And then right back up to warrior two. Lean it a little bit forward. Find that nice triangle. And we'll come all the way back up. Just bring your feet together. Back to shoulders for a minute here. While we're standing, circle the shoulders forward, but this time it's a whole body deal. So let your knees bend. And then one arm and then the other. And then circle them back. And then both together. And I feel like since this is our last time together this time, we should do maybe that little body puzzle again. So if you weren't here Friday, you may not know this one. If those circles felt better to you than having your arms straight, go ahead and back and just play with those. Otherwise, we're going to take both arms to the ceiling. Take your right hand, circle it forward, and stop at the top. And do that a few times. So it's just that little pause. You can let your whole body help with this if that feels good. Let's do one more. And then the left hand is going to circle back. So like a backstroke. Yeah. All right, I think we're ready. Take your right hand forward and your left arm back. And just let them meet at the top. Nice. Just to see if it's different today. Let's do one more. I know. If you're one of those folks who's like, I got this, I'm feeling smug, switch and go the other way. Nice. And then just shake it out. Let's bring both arms back into cactus. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Make sure your knees are a tiny bit bent. Bring them forward. Let it just all relax. And do that 2 more times. So engaged and relaxed. Engaged and relaxed. Good. Go ahead and just shake it out. And then let your chin drop down toward your chest. And lift. And 2 more. And go gently side to side. And then let your chin slide down back and forth. Good. All right. Come down to this side of your mat. We're going to do one Pilates walkout. No push-up. We're just going to walk it all the way out. So big inhale up, exhale all the way down. 1 vertebrae at a time. Good. Take your hands, walk yourself out to a plank, like a push-up. Drop your knees to the mat. Drop your chest to the mat. Little baby cobra. So barely pushing with your hands. We'll inhale the upper body up and exhale down. And do that 2 more times. So now really focusing on our back bodies. 1 more. Good. You can hang out with those baby cobras, or you can come up a little bit higher. Just notice that you're putting the effort in your upper back. Turn your head to the left when you get to the top. We'll drop it all the way back down. We'll inhale up as far as feels good. Turn the head to the right. Exhale down. Let's do 1 more to each side. Inhaling. Head turns. Exhale down. And inhaling to lift. Turn. And exhale down. Nice. Bring your hands back by your thighs. Palms are turned up. Let your legs lift. It doesn't have to be high. We're going to try to give the shoulder blades just a little squeeze here. So the whole back body is engaged for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead and reach your arms forward. Option 1, pick up your right arm and your left leg. And again, it doesn't have to be high. Just feel those muscles working across your back from the glute to the shoulder. Good. Hang out with that or come up for a Pilates swim and we just flutter. And we inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more set. Inhale and exhale. Good. Drop your forehead to your hands and pull your lower abs a little bit in and a little bit up. And then bring your hands to your sides. See if you can keep that engagement. Come up with a neutral spine to all fours. Yeah, and then find your cat-cow again. And this time, let's really focus on the shoulders, the upper back, the neck, and a little organic movement, just noticing where you need the stretch. Good. Walk your hands out. Find yourself a comfortable child's pose or a puppy dog. Let your hips be heavy if you're back in child's pose. Just imagine them sinking down toward the mat. And then let's walk arms over to the right. If it feels good to you to stack your left hand on top of your right hand, that's an option. Let your left hip be nice and heavy to the mat. And then gently walk over to the other side. And maybe stacking the right hand on the left. Let the right hip be heavy. And then walk yourself back to center. Staying here, come to your fingertips. Yeah. And then let your chest be heavy to the mat and just notice how big stretch in the upper back. And if that doesn't feel good, let the hands go. Otherwise, stay here a couple breaths. And then we'll come all the way back up. Just shake it out. Let's come over to our backs. Let's do one boat before we drop all the way back to the mat though. So feet could be down. You could have one leg lifted. You could have both legs lifted. You could hold on. You could let go. You could straighten. So you decide where your boat is today. It's just a hold. Two more breaths. Nice. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your back round. And then come on up and bring yourself all the way back to the mat. Good. Let's take right leg in the air. Left leg can be bent or straight, but trying to straighten that right leg as much as is reasonable. And circle your ankle. And then switch and go the other way. And then let your right leg cross over your left leg. Pull your left leg in towards your chest. It can be bent or it can be straight. And then switch legs. And take the right leg down, the left leg up. Right leg can be bent or straight. And circle the ankle. And switch, and we'll go the other way. Good. And then cross it over your right leg. Pull in on that right leg. Notice if this side feels different. Good. Draw both knees in toward your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Drop your feet to the mat. We're going to release our backs a little bit. Roll up from your tailbone through your low back and mid back. Just into a bridge. Keep the knees relatively close together and then drop it back down, one vertebrae at a time. Let's do 2 more. We'll exhale up. Inhale at the top. Exhale down. And inhale. Exhale up. Inhale at the top. Exhale down. Go ahead and shift your hips a little bit to the left. Open your arms wide. Let your knees drop over to the right if that feels good. Notice where you feel the stretch. And bring those knees back to center. We'll do the same thing on the other side, shifting the hips off to the right, letting knees drop over to the left. And come on back to center. And then for our last minute here, either find constructive rest or Shavasana, or if it feels better to you, go ahead and sit up. And we're just going to notice the breath again. If you want to put your hands on your belly, that's a nice option. And see if you can draw with your diaphragm, draw the breath down towards the belly. Allowing your belly to rise and fall. And really just focus on that, the rise and fall of the belly. Good. Let's stay here about 4 more breaths. Good. If you're flat on the floor, let your feet come back to the floor. Let your knees sway a little bit. And then turn on one side. And gently make your way to sitting. May we dwell in safety. May we be happy and healthy. May we be at peace. Stay. Thank you so much for practicing with me. This has been a pleasure.